Hello, everyone. My name is JD Calderon, and I'm the creator of the Oswald Chronicles, and this is Of Mice and
Wolves. Ow! This is the comic workshop show where we help other comic creators workshop their issues that they may be having in the comic book industry. And without further ado, let's bring on our guests.
Detroit's own Mark Dudley. What up, though? As we say in the Detroit area. How's it going, guys?
Good. How about yourself?
Okay.
Doing okay. Doing all right. Thanks for having me on. Again, man, this is a workshopping show is great. I do a lot of teaching on the side. So, yeah, thanks, man, again.
Yeah. Tell the people what it is you do, what's your book, your stuff.
Okay, my name is Mark Dudley. I'm the big brother of Imaginos Workshop. Imaginos Workshop is a production company. We do short films. We do screenwriting. We do podcasting, but we also do indie comics and manga. That's what started us out. My comic I'm working on is a Afrofuturistic comic called Judafist, 7 Deaths of the Yobi. It is 40 years in the making. It started out as a superhero comic, and then I discovered Octavia Butler, and I turned into a sci-fi comic.
Very nice. And our next guest is?
Good afternoon, JD. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too, Isaac. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Isaac Fox. I am the lead writer and president of Agile Ticket Comics. We do mostly adult-themed comics. When I say adult, I don't mean the H or the P word. I just mean adult comedy and those kind of things with ample amounts of fan service. So if you're a gentleman or lady or other have you of culture, you like things like High School DxD, Sunstone, or Monster Musume, or the list goes on for a while, then you are in the right place and talking to the right guy. And I know JD shares that quality taste. He's a very cultured gentleman.
Yeah, it's a different type of culture for sure.
Hey, man. I did a con one time. They put me next to a guy who sold children's books. He's like, did they not screen us? Look, man, I help them make the kid, and you sell the kid stuff. It's a line. We got this. Don't worry.
That's it. Very nice. I like it. How do you react to that?
He just shook his head and laughed. In truth, it probably shouldn't be next to a children's book.
Just so you can look down his nose at you.
The whole time he probably was like, "Oh my god."
Right. Then he probably bought about 10 books later on when nobody wasn't looking.
Probably. Blew all his profits at your table.
For sure.
What profit?
Complaints from me.
All right. So I'm going to hand it over to Rob. He's going to explain the rules, and then we will begin.
All right. So the way this works, usually we have 3 guests. We have one coming. He's probably still stuck in traffic. So we'll see. But so what we'll do is we'll start clockwise and work our way around. Each of you will present your issue that you are experiencing in the industry, and then we will ask questions to clarify, what you've done already. Maybe if we're not quite understanding what the issue is, basically just kind of asking around to figure it out. And then once we get there, then we will kind of give our little answer session to what we think might help the solution. The reason we do it that way is because asking the questions to find out to make sure what you've already tried, so we're not already kind of giving you things that you've already done and kind of making it a moot point. So, Mark, let's start with you, sir.
Oh man, it's always the same thing. I would call it time management, but it's not really time management. Me being the CEO, man, of Imaginos, and also our manga subsidiary, not so much subsidiary, our manga partner, Shining Otaku, our art direct and edit for them, right? So my biggest issue, man, is having time to get my own stuff done. And the more successful we get, the less time I have, and I'm really trying to figure out how to budget that for the most part. That's my main problem, I would say.
Okay.
Cool.
Isaac, do you have any questions for Mark before we get rolling into our answer session?
I'm curious what the answers are going to be here. So I got nothing yet, but I will. As the kids say, let me cook.
Okay. JD, do you have any questions?
Oh, you want a question? They want to answer. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, we're into the questions.
Oh, my bad. My headphones are turned up.
No worries. So, do you have a question for him then?
Yes, I do. So I have a theory. I call it the nemesis number. And
Okay.
it's this number you get to on Kickstarter where you get to that number, and for whatever reason, that's when all your cancellations and decreases come in. You get knocked back. And every
Right.
time you get over that number again, you get knocked back again. It happens for like 3 days to a week. So how do you guys deal with the nemesis number? How do you defeat your nemesis?
Oh, no.
No?
We're asking Mark on his issue first, not
Oh, yeah.
internal
The way it
questions.
works is
I'm so sorry. I said, man, it's been a long day.
that's okay. We're all there. We're all a little. Woo.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah, I was half asleep on the couch before we got here.
I've had 2 hours sleep in 3 days. So yeah, I'm still.
So
going.
Mark has whatever his predicament is, and then we ask him questions about his predicament, trying to like peel back that onion, right? And then once we got that information from, then we offer him solutions
Oh,
for
okay.
what we think would work to help him out with his problems.
Yeah,
Let me look at my teeth. I cry like a little kid too.
yeah. This isn't like JD show where like people ask the questions and then we all answer.
Right. Yeah, it's a little different.
JD
Yeah.
said we have to same with the failure. I see what he's doing. I see you playing JD. All right, I got you. I get you, but that's okay.
But yeah, so let me give an example of a question for Mark that I have. So Mark, the time for your book that you're trying to devote to, is that just for writing? Is it also for art?
Art, I draw and write it.
Okay.
So, I mean, the writing is funny because, like I said, I screenwrite. So the writing comes a lot easier now as I developed as a screenwriter than it used to. The writing used to be the teeth pulling part, but the writing now is just like, because I know how to write now. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Right. But then the drawing, obviously, I'm a '90s guy, and also I'm influenced by manga. So I'm, JD has seen his work. My work is pretty detailed. So that, I've tried to lay off a little bit, but still, you only can be you at the end of the day, right? So, I mean, again, it's always in the art. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe, I'm still trying to figure it out, right? So,
gotcha. The balance.
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
So as far as your time management, right? Because that's your big issue, is your time management.
Sure, yeah.
So do you create a schedule for yourself? Do you schedule out your day? Like, do you say, all right, from this hour to this hour, I'm going to do this. From this hour to this hour, am I going to do that? Do you have anything like that? Any type of scheduling?
My guide is sticky notes. So what I'll do on a weekly basis, I'll take and I'll be like, okay, this week I need to get this done, right? And I usually clear the list. No problem. I'm a pretty task-oriented guy. But it's really only 24 hours in a day.
Right.
If I get 5 extra hours, I might be cooking with gas.
Gotcha. All right. That's fair.
I get it.
Yeah, I definitely get it.
So Isaac, does that help with the question?
Yeah, I get it now. So like, my response to that would be, do you have friends? I mean, it's for real. Like, hear me out.
That's the thing. My studio guys are my friends.
Do you have a family?
Wife? I got a wife, and she definitely. It's weird too, because again, I try to put my wife first, regardless, but I don't know. I got to ask her how good a job I do with that.
Okay. Do you go to events like sporting games, bars? Like
nah, for the most part, after COVID, me and my wife kind of stayed in the house.
Okay. Do you not working on comics? What do you like? You play games, watch movies, that kind of stuff?
We like movies again. Like I said, I'm a screenwriter, man. So again, I'm always, looking at films and whatnot, and I try to enjoy them. But the more since I got really deep into screenwriting and started getting this little accolades, I kind of was like, man, movies hard to watch because I can't enjoy them anymore. You know what I mean?
You need to clear up all that time. This is what you do: take your wife, your friends, your hobbies, all that, and just get rid of them. They don't just get rid of them. They're gone. Your book is your wife now.
Isaac, you're up to the.
You're up to the answer section.
You're up to the answer section, right? It's 2 parts.
Well, he answered my questions. That's all I need. This time is. He's right. Time is it's the one currency. You don't know how much of you have. and it's extremely limited. And as you get older, you realize how limited it truly is.
And it goes by faster. Does anyone else notice that? It, like time.
Your perception of time changes.
You got
as you get
that
older.
right.
Yeah. The older you get, the faster it goes by.
Yeah. Okay, I have another question. When you're drawing, are you using pencil and paper, or are you digitally drawing?
I digitally draw, I lay out all my stuff. That's what makes it faster, though. I lay out all my stuff on paper, and then, I get my layout tight, and then I'll go, boom, straight to pretty much. I might do a little more penciling, and then I'll go straight to inks and whatnot, Like I said, I use a lot of detail, a lot of blacks here and there and stuff, so.
But so you're inking digitally, or?
Yeah, I'm inking digitally, yeah.
Okay.
Unless, of course, if it's, I do also do illustration work, right? For like TTRPGs, for Palladium Books is who I do a lot of my work for, right? So sometimes, like they do Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, they used to do Robotech and all that type of stuff. So sometimes when I'm doing my illustration, I do it traditionally. Why? Because I want to sell that piece.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
All right.
I get that. Okay. Anybody else have any more questions?
Do you have anybody that helps you, like an assistant or somebody that comes up and like looks behind you to help you out edit it, maybe, and like that?
Yeah. See, again, our crew, I'm not the main editor. We got we have an editor in chief. Our editor in chief, he, my editing stuff that we all help each other out. That's one thing that makes life a little easier. Our crew, we help each other out a lot. But having said that, we doing a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's the thing. So, I got to kind of oversee it because, I'm kind of the guy who can do everything, compared to everybody else. I mean, I just can do it. I mean, I'm not saying we got some really, really great people in our crew. They can do a lot of stuff, but overall, I just know it. I know all the jobs. You know what I mean? So.
Gotcha. Okay.
Sounds like you guys are right there with me.
I mean, I think that's mostly everybody in the indie scene because you probably have a full-time job and family and all that stuff. But there are ways to work around, and a lot of us have been able to kind of figure out our own pattern. So that's kind of like what we'll be offering ideas, what we think might help you based on So I think if everybody is good on the questions, we could probably move on to the answers.
Rob, if it helps, even if this is your full-time job, this is my full-time job, you still ain't got time. It still is not. It don't matter.
That right. I try to make the most efficient use of it I can, though. Don't get me wrong, right? So
right on.
All
right. So we're moving into the answers phase. So Isaac, you want to go first? Do you have any answers?
Let me get my basket out so I can catch them.
Get rid of family and all that, and you got more time to do your job. If we wanted to, comments in the Marine Corps, we wanted you to have a family that issue you one. Don't worry about it. But in all realness,
I'll kill you.
or thank me, one or two. I don't know. Depends on how things are going. In all realness, like, do you keep yourself like on a set schedule? Like, this is like the time I wake up. That's one of the best things you can do. Spreadsheets are your friend. Keep track of everything. It's meticulous. The more meticulous you are, the better you're doing. Sometimes, like you said, sticky notes are good, but I would recommend something a little more salvageable than what a sticky note would be. Something like
that won't fall off your desk.
These are digital sticky notes, not those. These are digital sticky notes I use. The one
if you do it digital, then that's the way to do it. There's a lot of things you can do to help with that timing, but a big thing that I've learned the hard way when it comes to like scheduling your time out, and this is a mistake I'm still making, and I know I'm getting chewed up with my assistants for it, is you got to make sure to take time for you, because what happens is you don't realize, you think you're still on your schedule, you're doing everything, but you don't realize you're operating at a fraction of your actual capacity. So remember, just take a step back, get you a nice steak dinner, have a drink, get some water, eat a couple vegetables, rest, and then get back to it. You'll find your productivity increases massively. Take an example of look at Microsoft has done this, and companies in now Tokyo are doing it, where they're working people less than 40 hours. They're working you 8 hours, shorter days, and finding productivity goes up. Apply that to yourself too. Remember, your number one priority is yourself. If you're not around, you can't make comic books anymore.
Sure.
And surely your readers want you around for more comics. At least I hope they do, man. Tell you what, I want you around for more comics. But at the very least.
All right.
So that's my answer. Part-time management is remember to take some time for yourself as well. Otherwise, your mental capacities they just start decreasing.
That's good.
You make bad decisions. I've been there before.
Yeah, I mean, I've been making them forever. 92. That's when I first started publishing. That's when it started.
Get you as old as you are.
Mental deterioration.
Oof, you know. But in all seriousness, I think use Post-it notes. I mean, I don't know how tight you are with your schedule. For some, it depends. Like I said, it depends how tight you are with your schedule. It's like, do you block out time for certain things?
Sure.
Right. So like, I know to block out X amount of time for, if I got a letter, write, whatever. And I always give myself, I say between this hour and this hour, I'm going to do this. Same thing with exercising, which I've been absolutely ignoring. But you're supposed to block out time.
Don't do that. Well. Do not do that.
No, I know. Well, I hurt my shoulder like 3 weeks ago.
That don't stop you from going on a 5-minute jog.
I don't run. I got a stationary bike.
Walk or bike. There you go.
Yeah, I just came back on my first vacation in 3 years. I went to Arizona. It was great.
Yeah,
I didn't want to come back.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing you gotta do.
Except for my wife, that's it. Otherwise,
I'll tell you, JD, it is amazing how much creative. Not meant this this is not an analogy for anything. How much the creative juices flow after a workout. Like it opens up your brain. So I cannot recommend take 10 minutes a day just to do some push-ups, do something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the blood flow definitely it's very helpful, especially when you're tired and stressed. Like,
oh my goodness, yes. Yeah. You hate it while you're doing it, but when it's done, you're like, wow, okay, I look great and I feel better. Yeah, this is nice.
What I've got to do though, it's funny because I work at home on Tuesdays, right? And so I got the setup now, and I got the iPad. So again, hopefully my boss ain't watching this. Buddy, look, I will take my iPad while I'm taking these IT calls, and I will do some work.
Yeah. But what I was saying is that get together a planner. Sure. If you can, and just time your stuff. See how long it takes you to do X, Y, and Z, and then move on to the next task. And you don't have to just get like a plain old page written planner. You can get one on your computer, where you can plan out a day, and it'll ring you. Like right. Really good ones. They'll ring you. They'll be like, oh, but now it's time to go do this. Boop. Now it's time to go do that. Boop. It's not time to, and I utilize it sometimes at work, and it works because it's like oh shit, I got a meeting, conference call, whatever, because it's one of the things I deal with in my day job.
Yeah, you got to block off that time.
So I think one thing too, man, that also my wife gets on me about this. I'm trying to work with is this, right? I want to see. I'm one of them type of guys, who one of my making my comic and stuff is my talent, right? But my real talent is building teams and organizing. That's my real talent, right? So I can find great artists. I can get stuff together, But unfortunately, in that, my stuff ends up moving to the back burner as I'm making sure the team getting their stuff done, right? So, I'm getting better at it. Don't get me wrong, I'm getting better at it because once I get the team to a certain, once I can get the team to a certain level, then the pressure is off, and then I can go back on my own stuff, right? But sometimes, it can be an uphill battle.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is like you just have to prioritize. Right. Like JD said, you got to block off that time, prioritize that. If you can fit it in. I mean, again, it's just a matter of when you think you're able to do the most amount of work for it without sacrificing quality, right?
Right. That's the main thing. I told myself, look, I would rather be a little slow and keep my quality tight and rush it and do whatever. Because like this week, it's funny, the Zelda Awards just came out, for women in comics. And we got 3 people in our group that's been nominated for these awards, right? So now, we trying to push for them and all that type of stuff. I had to put the marketing hat on. Luckily, we got a marketing team. My boy Irvin Johnson Janet Cuichi and my boy Joe Kane. You know, they are marketing team and they doing a great job. But still, like I said, I still got to put a hat on sometime. if just to give a little advice here and there. So yeah.
No doubt. The other thing, when I was kind of getting at about doing things digitally, and you said you take your iPad, that's another thing you could do is like, if you're stuck somewhere waiting, or if you have to do, if you're going just places like go to a doctor's appointment or something, like anything, like have that iPad with you. So you could also use it for the writing side of things, but also since you can do it digitally, you can, any time that you can squeeze in there. That's something that I do for myself as far as like writing. Like I have 3 kids, so like I'm running them around to basketball, dance, all kinds of shit. I'm sitting there waiting for them. I'm in the car with a notepad, just writing shit down.
Right.
Look, it's Jay. Jay, we were just talking shit about you.
Yeah, he was.
Listen, I look at it like this: there's nothing I wouldn't say to his face.
And then he'd be like, "You son of a."
They know what they call it, a true friend.
Yeah.
But that's how you know who like your true friends are, right?
All right.
Like the ones who are not afraid to like just talk trash to your face, that's your boy. You know that.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are really friendly to you and super sweet, don't trust that person.
Yeah.
Someone's like, hey man.
In our crew, young guys in our crew treat me like I'm their grandfather.
Oh man.
Yeah.
They great guys though. It's funny though.
Mm-hmm. It's all right. With maybe
just don't be giving them cookies and that have been in
right
for like ever.
There's something I would say when it comes to time stuff, and this is something I've had to talk to my team out a lot. There, you have 2 choices. You can get a product out to make money, or you can work on a perfect product and never get it out.
See, there you go right there, because again, this is another issue I have, right, that comes from that, right? I'm so obsessed with having fun doing what I'm doing, and I work a job to where I really don't have to worry about the money. So it really, the money, I'm more worried about the team making money for the larger brand than I am with my comic making money.
That's a good thing, though.
Right. So it's like, I think that's really deep down the crux of my whole issue.
I see a lot of guys that never put anything out because they're always trying to perfect every single panel. I'm like, dude, open up a Marvel comic, a DC comic, a Shonen Jump book. You're gonna you'll find errors in those books all the time.
Look, Dan Didio told me this not too long ago. Dan Didio was like, hey, this is what it comes down to. It's not your perfect page we look for, it's what your average page looks like.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
I mean, it's true because, especially when you're in the Marvel bullpen, they're pumping stuff out, quick, right? Mm-hmm. So they got to be fast if they don't got a job. Unfortunately, us indie guys, when we hire, our artists, usually they're like, okay, we'll get it to you like next year.
Standards are not the same.
See, the messed up part though, even with that, right? Since I draw 2, they can't pull that on me, and they be like,
"Whoa, but you pull it on yourself. Is that the problem?"
Well, the thing is, so what I'll do, man, I've done this. This is horrible. I know. So they'll send me something, and it'll be kind of phoned in, and I'll overdraw it and send it back to them. And they'll be like, well, I'm like, hey man, hey bro, I said, only reason I hired you because I don't have the time, and they ain't got the skill. They be pissed too, man. They be mad.
I mean, JD, you know the manga environment pretty well. Those guys have 4 assistants working on a book to get it out.
Yep.
Come back doing everything that the lead guy doesn't do,
and they
fixing up his stuff.
They get no props at all.
No, that's a miserable industry. Never work in it. That's you don't want to do that.
No props.
No credit whatsoever.
But
that's what I keep trying to tell them. You can have a perfect panel, you can have a product you can actually put out.
Yeah.
I just ran through Sunstone the other night, and I felt like this weird little company. Somebody's really good, make a mistake.
You just muted yourself.
You muted yourself, Isaac.
I didn't actually. The connection did. That was
your boy, man, Sunstone. He be kicking him and his wife. They be kicking ass, man, on them books. I just like the painted way that they do it. They have a lot of fun too. If you listen to them talk. Having a ball, man.
Going through it, I read through it the other night, and I saw a panel where a character had a collar on one panel, the next she didn't, next one she did, and I'm like, see, you made mistakes too. I caught you. You messed up too.
As long as they got 6 fingers.
Right.
Then you start be like, what's going on with that?
I learned, as somebody who cannot draw, I learned to go through every panel and count fingers and toes now. It's a meticulous, unpleasant task. But normally, every now and then you find one, it's like, hey, there's an extra finger here. But it's very rare.
You got to watch that because he might have had a little help, if you know what I mean.
We scan it. I run everything through AI scanners. We do not permit that here. If you guys don't have them, I recommend them. You can scan it, and they'll tell you what program was used to create it, what the chances of it were, everything. We scan everything now.
Kind of
good.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna use that in conjunction with my art nose.
Hive. It's called Hive. That's what
Hive. Thanks, man. I'm definitely gonna grab that.
It's an add-on you can have on your browser. You just drag an image over to it, and it scans into your browser, and it scans it and tells you this is the percentage chance of these programs it used. Here's a chance of it being AI. Here's how much of it was used by this program. It tells you everything.
I want to fucking hack it to it. Just say that guy sucks.
There are other, like I've had other creators contact me, want to like work together. I'm like, hey, do you know this use AI in your project? No, our guys don't use AI. Like, yeah, but this says it's a 98% chance this cover was made with stable diffusion. Are you sure about that? 'Cause it looks like AI. Because your character's holding a gun, but that gun's trigger's like on the front of the gun, away from the hand, and the muzzle's like bent. Like this don't make any sense, bro.
And the thumb is upside down.
For real, right?
Yeah, but they'll swear up and down it's not AI. I'm like, all right, I'm not here to fight with you. You do you.
All right.
Cool.
Cool.
I'm definitely gonna pull that down. Thanks, man. Much appreciated.
Hey, I don't want to see anybody get screwed over by AI fakes, man. Like I know we all compete, but the way I've always worded it is we're all like imagine we're all playing for a football team and we're all wide receivers. We want the team to win. We just want more yards than one another. That's okay.
And what people don't realize, man, you make it bad for other people. I hire a lot of Nigerian artists, right? These kids are amazing, right? But some of them think they smarter than the average bear. So you get in there and y'all be like, hey man, how come that looks kind of like AI? No, it's not. I said, well, okay, let's do a Zoom call and you can draw right from me. Why do I need to do that? I'm like, okay, buddy. I said, peace out.
I got shoved into the brick wall.
Well, I'm confused now because when I had it on mine before, it was backwards for me. So it's apparently they're seeing it mirrored. So I didn't know the viewers were seeing it mirrored compared to what I saw. I thought it was backwards on my end.
Eddie, what did you say? He's like the predator.
Yeah, he's looking like the predator. He has the predator back.
Hey,
oh no!
I'll take that. Let's do this then.
Isaac's another brick in the wall.
Oh no!
It feels more like a cog in a machine some days. How it feels. Is that backwards now for everybody else? For me, it's backwards now.
No, now it's fine.
Okay, so it's mirrored then, because for me it's backwards. So I was confused.
Hey Rob, when somebody said you need to host a Rob shaving his face, don't do it, Rob.
Nah. The last time I shaved my face was probably over a decade ago, to be honest.
Right.
And like I went, it was a Halloween party, and I went as Leonard from The Big Bang Theory, so I had to shave it all off. It was weird.
Now the question
my wife
is,
don't like the guys with no facial hair, so I might be kicked out if I did that.
Well, the question is, would you do it for a $35,000 stretch goal?
Well, shit, yeah, I just grow it back the next week. It don't take long.
Yeah, it grows back fast.
Oh,
so
you're lucky, man. I grow slow.
Seriously, like my Italian butt is like it just is like it's like a mutant power. It just goes.
JD, you write a big enough check, we can make a lot of things happen here. Okay, like I'm just saying. Like I've said before, we don't make H content explicitly, but if you want to write me a big enough check, we'll make some H content. How many zeros you got on that check? We can talk about it.
Gotcha.
There's a price on almost everything.
I'll come in and help under my pseudonym.
I think G, I think you and I talked about it once. How many guys or the professional manga artists do that stuff on the side of a different pseudonym?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's why they have those weird names, and they're like, know.
But look, the guy Mossman Nishiro who did Ghost in the Shell. You seen his stuff lately?
Yeah.
I'm like,
that guy's...
I've never seen so much horse porn in my life.
I didn't think I was going to hear that term today. All right.
Hey man, this day you got to go look at it.
Ooh.
But the thing is you're in good company. Adam Hughes, Bill Willingham, Bart Spears, all those guys did stuff for Penthouse Comics back then.
Yeah, they sure did.
Yeah. And it was
Jason Pierce did a ton of stuff for them.
Yeah.
I've seen so many artists that draw that kind of content up until they get their name gets bigger, then they stop doing it. It's kind of like actresses that do that for films. They'll do like topless scenes, and later on, like, no, we're done with it. Not doing it anymore. Once her name gets kind of big. Was Amelia Clark, the lady who played the Targaryen girl in Game of Thrones? That was her thing.
Mm-hmm.
Once she kind of got set into the position, she's like, all right, I'm not doing nude scenes anymore.
Oh, right.
Like, yeah, well, they can't fire you from the role now, so yeah,
Right.
that's
Right. That's how once you get entrenched.
She's like,
you gotta dig in first before you can set your guns up.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Well, Mark, did we kind of sort of help you out with your question?
Yeah, man, absolutely, man. The thing, like I said, man, that's one thing. I used to be hard-headed, man. That's another thing I worked on. I kind of worked and got better with it from an art standpoint. Used to be hard-headed, all get out. And now, it's like, man, I'm taking advice from anybody I can get it from.
All right. That's fair.
Yeah, saying from Sun Tzu, man, is right to learn even from the enemy.
Yeah. Again, I realized I'm a perpetual student. That's why.
That's smart though. If you so many guys know hit 30 and they want to stop learning. Like, bro, like there's so much stuff. Never stop learning.
You're gonna be learning something.
You're gimping yourself. You're just you're taking yourself and bashing your own legs in. Why?
Yep.
Try having a 15-year-old.
Rob, I'm gonna tell you what I tell every single person I know that has kids. You inspire me to never have any. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Right. All right. So Isaac, what's your situation?
So something I've run into a lot, and I ran into it hard this time, was, I said earlier, I call it the nemesis number. Maybe there's a proper theory behind it. I don't know. It's a number you get to on your Kickstarters or anything you do crowdfunding. You hit that number, and let's say it's 5,000. The easy number to work with 5, right? Yeah. Every time you go over that, you get knocked back down to like 4,800, and it does this for like 3 days to a week. It's just cancellations, decreases, whatever, and it completely deflates the campaign. It throws out all the steam you've been building up. It takes you from running to 100 miles an hour to 0 instantly. If anything, now you're in reverse. So I'm curious how, like, if you guys have ever had that happen, and what your thoughts are on how to solve that problem. We've tried a couple of things and found some success with it, but maybe I can, like you said, always right to learn. Maybe I'll learn something new.
Right.
Okay.
JD, you're in the hot seat. Let's go. What you got?
Well, I mean, my first question for you would be, like, obviously you have your mailing list, right? You're utilizing it, right?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, we try not to spam them too much, but oh yeah, definitely. My general rule is 3 per campaign: beginning, middle, and end. If there's a special deal, I might throw 1 or 2 extras in there, but not very many. I don't want to. You spam them too much, I'll start unsubscribing, which is fair.
Right. Yeah, which is fair, right? But do you also do something like Substack, where you're not just sending them an email saying, hey, buy my stuff? You may be saying, hey, listen, like, here's some content about the book that's not about the book. Like, you maybe share them with them, like some breakdown art, right? Where you're like, like progress art or that sort of thing. Instead of just like saying, like, buy the book, you're saying, well, let me show you how the book is made.
Right.
You show them a little bit of how the sausage is made. Maybe a little bit of you lettering. That sort of thing. Have you ever tried?
No, I haven't. I'm writing that down right now. That's a good idea.
Oh, okay.
So like, my problem is
my job's done.
Problem.
My job's done.
Problem.
I did it.
And my problem is I don't see things like most people do. I'm not saying I'm smarter because I'm not. I'm not. What do they call that again? Neurotypical? Yeah, I'm not neurotypical. Which, if you make comics, you're probably not, because mental illness and creativity go hand in hand. But so I don't see certain things people do. And I've had people that I know that back things and ask them questions like, why would you? Friends of mine that back comics like, why would you behave that way? Why would you do this thing you did? Because it makes no sense to me. But thing I didn't think of. So that's a good point. Thank you, JD.
Let me ask just one question too. Well, actually, it's kind of something that we learned.
Questions to ask.
Right. Something we learning right now. We doing some Urban Johnson. He's part of our marketing team, and what he's doing lately, he's really getting to learn how TikTok works, right? And so what he's been doing is kind of what JD is talking about, but what he's noticed is that people like single characters. So he'll post stuff, talking about single characters, or showing, like JD said, showing pages in process. And TikTok is, it's pretty quick. So, it's like, boom, people will check it out. And then, he's finding some penetration like that. And the last, and I kind of noticed too. This again, I'm gonna ask this question. So, this is more of a psychology question too, right? When you're looking at your campaigns, right? Are you looking at it from a glass half full or glass half empty perspective?
I can answer both of those.
Sure.
So the first one, TikTok I never look at because I know a couple of guys who make comics and who have hundreds of thousands of followers. It never translates into money for them ever. Okay. Followed by same problem. You said single characters. I'm shocked because when I do multiple characters, I get way more hits on multiple characters. But the crazy thing is experiences vary so massively depending on who your audience is, who you resonate with, yada yada. Sure. What's the second part of that? My brain is bad. It was that part of the second question.
So yeah, I was asking are you look at your campaigns the glass half full or glass half empty?
I know for a fact I'm gonna get a very angry message from Brooke and Azumi in a minute. I look at it like you're failing. Why aren't you doing better? Your breeders deserve better. What the F is wrong with you? Work harder. It doesn't matter what that number is. It doesn't matter. That number could be $600,000. I look at it that way. I use that to fuel myself to keep going, keep pushing. They deserve the best you can give them. Keep fighting. Do not stop.
I tell you,
which is not a healthy way to do it. And I don't recommend that to anybody. It's extremely self-punishing.
Yeah. My partner Nick Amati would say, don't, and again, this is a phrase I never heard it before, but he always says, hey man, don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good.
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
Perfection's a concept. It's not real. You have to know that. Right.
It's not. It don't exist. It's non-existent.
It's unreachable.
There's nothing wrong with attempting.
Right. Right.
Okay. So when you're finding yourself stuck in this never-ending loop of up and down between like 5,000 and let's say 483 or whatever the dropping,
it's easy number to work with.
Yeah,
I'm bad at math, so we'll stick with easy numbers.
Yeah. So what what are you already trying to counteract so that we don't give those suggestions?
Right.
We schedule out interviews, media appearances, things like that, along with every campaign I do. There are items that aren't there day one, and they're scheduled out on a set time schedule. And some of them, I do have a couple of things sitting on a in the vault, so to speak, that are an emergency break glass situation. So if that day comes, whenever the Nemesis number shows up, we will then announce, hey, here's this new things we're putting out. Check it out. Sometimes we'll go into our Discord server and talk to our people directly. Like, hey, what are some things you guys want to see on this campaign that maybe aren't here yet? What can we do to bring this? Like right now, we're running a poll asking if they want us to do a $1 add-on for signatures from me because I don't know anybody want my signature, but apparently some people do. Just working with the community to find what they want and having things scheduled to come out to help give that uplift back to it. Breathe life back into it. That's usually what I do right now. And it does work, but it works, but I'm curious how everybody else does that because it can't be just me that has that problem.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Well, this is one more question though I got to ask you too, right? So when you're doing this campaign and when you're getting these jitters, that's what I call them, right? Where are you as it relates to your goal? Are you over goal, still having these jitters, or are you close to goal and still having these jitters? What's usually the case?
It's over. It doesn't matter. It's still the same thing.
See, that right there. That's why I asked you that question.
Yeah, earlier. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
Because this is the thing, irrelevant. Right?
Comparison's the thief of joy, yes. But I still believe the only person you should compare yourself to and try to beat is the guy you were yesterday. So look at previous campaigns like this was here by now. Why isn't this? What did you do wrong? Figure it out.
Right. It's kind of like it sounds like you kind of got a gambling high.
Weirdly enough, no, I hate gambling. I've never gambled in my entire life.
I'm just saying, though. That's what it sounds like, though.
I mean, Kickstarter's kind of like gambling.
It is kind of like that, right?
You're right about that. You're still rolling the dice, hoping you get what you want. And I guarantee you will.
You get the adrenaline hit as you see the money go up. Right? That's what it is. You get the dopamine hit.
At this point, it's changed totally, where I don't get the adrenaline hit up until I see that they cleared in a bank account because there's too many variables up until that point.
Oh yeah.
I don't celebrate like the last day. Like, oh, you're funded. Cool. Let me make sure that we actually get paid out on this. And then when that comes over, I'm like,
yeah.
Mhm.
Like when you get one of those really big ones, and you're like, oh, is that good?
What is going to happen to take this away from me? What are they conspiring? What's going to happen here? Let's wait and see if Stripe decides they want to be a problem, or if everybody's credit cards just magically don't work, or my bank screws up. Like, what's going to happen here? But when that number clears in the bank account, and you're like, all right, everybody gather around. We're having a steak dinner. Good job.
All right, cool. So everybody's done asking their questions.
I think I have one more.
Definitely, yep.
So what do you got?
So what type of like bonus rewards are you using? Like you were saying that you're throwing out there like your rainy day ones or whatever. Like what types are those?
We prepare a couple of. Usually, I mix between small things and big things. So small things would be like, hey, you can get a random metal card for $6. That's not a lot of money. Just that little bump to go into it if you're looking at it. This time, it varies from campaign to campaign what it asks to have available to me at that time. In this case, Krista Miowski, it's her first cover ever in comics. She's my tattoo artist, actually, and she did an amazing tattoo cover for us. And because she lives down the street from me, we're like, well, it's your debut cover. You want to do signs and remarks, and that's your money at that point. Like, you get the most of that money. 99% of that money is yours. I'm just going to take $1 for my driving the comics to you. And we can do that because she's down the street. So my artists, like I work with Mr. Wajik Eric Chen, who's in Tokyo. Like he's like, I do remarks. I'm like, yeah, man, I have to charge so much for that because shipping to Tokyo and back is going to be really expensive on top of his fee, which is fair. I understand that. So it varies from campaign to campaign. It depends what my resources are available to me at that time.
Right.
And how much foresight I have. Sometimes I'll think ahead of it and make a thing specifically for that role. And sometimes I get there and like, well, I thought I had what I needed, but it's clearly ain't enough. I got to figure something out. And I'll get with one of my artists about like something we can whip up or talk to my community directly.
Like, are you using like metal covers or lenticular covers or like anything like specialty?
I have never done lenticulars. I want to, but no shop in the States will do them to my knowledge.
They don't. You got to go through like Alibaba or something like
the people that I've talked, like the big boy, the 6-figure guys on Kickstarter that I've talked to about it. They all get together and order at the same time from like Singapore or somewhere together. And I'm not part of that clique, so it's not going to happen.
I mean, I go through Alibaba and I only order like 20 at a time, and then I charge like $75 for one lenticular cover. So it's.
I have to ask you about that because I don't know how to set up. How you set those up.
Yeah, it's a sticker that you have to put on the book yourself. Yeah. It's not like you're getting it printed.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I mean, so you just have to have the size for your book. And let me tell you, it's the reason I charge $75 for it is because it's stressful. Having one of these things, it's like a time bomb that you're trying to like cut the wire.
Right.
Make sure that because once it sticks, man, it's stuck. So if it's off, or you're ripping that cover.
Right.
We do lenticular sometimes. Other things, I'm sorry, acetates are one of the things we've been trying to expand a little bit more into. And our acetates are fun in the sense that we'll put like one page is the close on and you turn it and then they're not there no more.
Okay.
The only caveat to is you gotta be careful because the acetate does not line up pixel perfect. It's gonna be off a little bit. So you got to make sure, like JD, you saw like our early special had the magical anime rays of light that always appear in anime to cover things up. Like, well, we can use that because that's so big. It doesn't matter if it's off by like 10 pixels. Who cares? So try a little bit of all that stuff. I've planned things out. Metals I've not done as much as of recent just because the demand kind of went down on them and the prices went up. So I was trying to keep things a little more cost effective to the backer. But if anybody ever wanted a metal of a cover, all you got to do is send us a message. Brooke will respond to it and I'll have it up in 5 minutes.
Sure.
I don't care if I'm in bed. I'll wake up and come down and do it. I don't care. Doesn't matter.
All right, cool. There you go. See, we got somebody new in here.
Hey, Alton.
What's going on, brother?
Hey guys, what's happening? Sorry I'm late.
No worries. Traffic got you. So, Alton, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell the good people what you do, and then we'll continue on with what we're doing.
Yep.
Alton Simpson. I do comic books, conventions, film festivals. My initial comic was Vampires in New Jersey. I've had spinoffs, Werewolves of Brooklyn, Witches of Westchester, Blackjack, and Bunny Goes to Space. My shared universe. I've done 2 Indiegogos and 10 Kickstarters.
Right.
I've done about 200,000 crowdfunding.
Right.
And my latest campaign is Whiffed, I took 2 years off, and I came back, and I'm dead in the water. So
Gotcha.
Rob made an offer to discuss things, so I said I want in.
All right. Well, we're going to finish with Isaac's answer session, and then we will get into your kind of question, your issue that you're working through, and then we'll try and get you all some extra money by showing your campaigns.
Sure.
Thanks.
So to kind of catch you up on Isaac is basically his problem. He's kind of talking about how like lately there's been this stream of like when you get to a certain number, let's say like 5,000.
Oh, it's not lately. He's been doing this for 12 years.
Well, fair.
I've seen it for 12 years now. It happens every time.
So you get to a certain number and then you drop below, like let's say it's a stretch goal that just keeps going up and down. So you're trying to get back above it. So we're just kind of giving him some ideas on what he can do to kind of counteract it, to just shoot past it.
That's a real problem. People, pledges, and then it disappears. It goes down and then comes back in. I've been hearing other people complain about it. So that's a big issue.
So does anybody have any thoughts or answers for Isaac on what he can do for counteracting this issue?
Well, I kind of answered what I asked.
I know you did. Thought maybe you'd had some more to add.
Mark, were you going to say something?
Well, no, again, man, it's the psychology of it, right? Number one. And number two, the thing is this. When you do that campaign, what the minimum is. The minimum to be able to pay taxes. The minimum to be able to send out the books to the people. The minimum to be able to get a satisfactory product out, right? This is just the minimum. Get the stretch goals.
Right.
Okay? Mm-hmm. And so stretch goals are stretch goals for a reason.
And I'm seeing campaigns have a lot less of those recently.
Yeah, but they stretch goals for a reason, right? Mm-hmm. It's like basically, I personally look at stretch goals like a victory lap.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So I don't get caught up in the ones I've done. I don't really get caught up in the stretch goals. My main thing is getting that product out to the people who back me. Because once I get over that hump, then everything else is gravy. I don't worry about the gravy. That's my main thing. So I'm not saying don't go stretch goals. Obviously, you're definitely not going to do that. But try to go back and remember the time when you first was doing this, when getting over that hump was something to celebrate. That's how I would approach it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, throughout the campaign, there's a lot of things that like, especially with dead zones. When you're in the middle of something and people are dropping pledges in the middle and people aren't backing to make it up, you just kind of have to celebrate some kind of win to kind of get the attention back. Whether, like you've been doing with dropping random like rewards here and there, or offering like a digital freebie or something, just like any kind of thing that you can make up to just kind of get that buzz going, or make, like JD was saying, like with Substack, giving content, but also like making it so it's that you're not just there to sell them something, but you're also there kind of curating your own community. Because
that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
For what little it's worth, I've said before, like every now and then you go to a convention, people ask you how to do it. I kind of get this question all the time. Like, well, the trick is figuring out who you resonate with and figuring out how to resonate with them. Right. And the best example of that I always lean towards, JD's heard me say it before, is Brian Polito, because that man he's just metal. Just everything's metal. I've never not seen him in a battle vest. He just lives that and he resonates with that very well. Fantastic example of doing that.
Oh yeah, and he cultivates his audience very much like a community. It's like a very joint thing for him. Like, it's, they're going to bat for him because they see him as this leader of this community and they want to see him succeed, whether or not, it's they've been there from the beginning of his career or just recent. I mean, they're diehard.
Yeah, I'm about to say that. Rob Brian is good with people though.
He's very good
from the beginning with Brian. Him and me, and I had a chance to over years get kind of cool with Steve Hughes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just watch. Steve Hughes was the quiet guy, and Brian was the carnival barker, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that worked. It worked well. So he's got that.
I mean, he's great too. Like when you meet him I met him for the first time last year at Terrificon, and I mean, very down to earth guy, very cool. Like he may look gruff and bikerish, but you know what? That's all cool, rock and roll, like you said. Like, but he's not like, I'm gonna punch you in the face because I'm metal. He's like, we're gonna rock together because I'm
different side of the metal.
I remember when he couldn't grow any facial hair. Then all of a sudden he got this beard. I'm like, look at that.
Man, technology's come so far.
That's that beard that took forever to grow.
And he ain't never cutting that one off.
No, never shaved that one.
All right. Does anybody else have anything for Isaac to help? Isaac, I could definitely hook you up with my rep for those lenticulars if you do want to jump into those.
It's something we've looked into. A lot of what do I call supply technicalities that would come into play with that. It's like a lot of things we look at. New product available, sure, but what are the actual logistics of doing this?
I mean, I fulfill everything here myself and do everything. So
I do everything. 99% of everything's done by me outside of the art. But like T-shirts were one. We offered T-shirts to our server for individual people in our Discord server. Beyond that, everything I've ever read about doing T-shirts on Kickstarter is like I've heard they're just a nightmare. Every time I've talked to them, they've done them. It's like they're a real pain in the butt.
Yeah, I guess that depends too on your vendor and the pricing. Like I've done T-shirts, I've done hoodies, I've done hats. Yeah, packaging. You just got to know. What I
learned about T-shirts, this was way back in the day. You get the look. We used to literally get a $3 pack from the post office, and we packed everything in that thing. And
man, you can't even get the tag off the T-shirt for $3 nowadays.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like the T-shirts were they obviously was more, but in terms of like shipping, we used to get those early. If you can fit it in there, it's shipped for $3.
Well, that's another thing too. Like you can fit a T-shirt in with a single comic book in a Gemini mailer.
Yeah,
that's no doubt.
A single book, yes, but when they order 4 or 5, now you gotta get a bigger mailer.
Right, but at that point, though, if you have too many comics anyway, it's still not going to fit in a Gemini.
Right.
So you're going to have a bigger box.
The bigger Gemini boxes.
Yeah.
Usually, what I'll do is I don't use Gemini. I use I use like a Uline type box.
Right.
We'll pack the books in that, and then what I also have is I have these plastic like these bags that we have them printed and we insert them, and then we'll put the box inside that bag and then the T-shirt on top inside the bag on top. It's not like the T-shirt's going to get damaged.
There's all kinds of different ways to make it work. You just have to make sure you just know your measurements and your price points.
Yeah, we did them before. It was okay. It wasn't one of the things I want to practically lean into in the future. The requested that changes things, of course. But if backers make requests for things, and we immediately start researching how we can get to it.
Right. Fair.
Our job people happy. We take that job quite seriously.
I mean, I've had people ask for like the 3D prints for like my characters, and like you to feasibly do it. Like, so I've had them done. And they're not but to be able to package and send these things.
Oh yeah, that'd be rough.
Like it was a logistics nightmare. So these things are basically just sitting on my shelf.
It's got that with statues of the characters. I'm like, cool, but I have to have them made. Someone's got to paint them. Like, how do I ship that? There's a lot of complications here.
Yeah, so that was something I looked into, and I was like, I'm not doing it.
I feel like there's definitely a point you get to where certain options open up, but until you're past that point, it's not financially wise to do that. If you're making like 80K a Kickstarter, yeah, sure, you can start doing stuff like that.
Oh yeah, at that point you can have it like vacuum packaged.
Yeah, you can do your options are a lot
that.
more wiggle room. I will argue for a long time. I think crowdfunding in general is a snowball effect because those who get the bigger snowball can do bigger stuff and therefore attract more people.
What's also cool though too, I got a buddy of mine who he teaches what do you call it, graphic arts, right? And so he's got all these printers and stuff at his job that it is teaching. This guy, man, he's like, man, give me some images. I'm gonna try stuff out. So he did this big acrylic cover copy of my cover, right?
Oh, that's nice.
Oh, nice.
It's just acrylic, and so he's like, man, you know I can't mass produce them. I'm like, but still, you did it. Now I know it can be done. So,
well, I mean, you get those guys who do those things that, like, you see them at cons, right? But they're doing other people's IPs, you know, like the big IPs, and they're, you know, but they probably have those similar printers, and they're selling buku, you know, with like Goku on it.
Right. And so I was like,
a company I used to help with conventions. They sold those acrylic prints. They were like $95 starting for those things. Like, how much? Like, their artists were amazing and all that. But like, those things have got to. And like, I found out later from them like how much they cost to make. I was like, oh yeah, I see what the price is. So
no,
definitely,
absolutely,
a lot involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. But yeah, he just like trying stuff out. So I'm like, yeah, okay, man. Man, give me something. Here you go, bro.
Smart, very smart.
So, all right, does anybody else?
This one, no. This is when he started with to figure
Wow,
out.
look at that.
I like that.
Nice.
That's cool.
So anybody else have any more thoughts for Isaac before we move on to Alton?
No. But Isaac, did we help someone?
Yeah, I think that's actually, there's some things you said, especially JD. I never thought about using Substack before. That's very smart. Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right, you're welcome. I mean, listen, hopefully it works out. You know.
Now that you're just trying to sabotage me, which I mean, you know, I understand. I get it. Cool.
JD's gonna come in here and kneecap you.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, you're from New York, right, JD? You might do that.
No.
See, the thing that you do that right, and it seems manga influence. So again, one more thing I was about to say, did you do, and again, it's really, I know I'm past question phase, but it's really an answer to. Do you reach out to the manga community a lot?
Yes. When I first started doing this, after a couple of years, we started building the community up, and I have a significant number of people who are regular backers to me, and they're part of our Discord community that tell me they don't read comic books at all. They read what we do because it's more anime and manga looking, but they don't buy DC, they don't buy Marvel. They're going for Shonen Jump, they're going for Dragon Ball, they're going for.
But so the problem with those guys, though, one thing I noticed, because again, we do manga too. Shine Otaku is our partner for doing manga. Thing with that is that in Irvin, he runs Shine Otaku. We always ask this question. You got manga and you got original English language manga, right? And so with original English language manga, what ends up kind of being the problem is that a lot of the people who are, there you go, right? JD, you know
my copy, JD.
JD knows the term.
It's covered.
You know the term weeaboo, JD, right?
Yep.
Right. A lot of those dudes are weebs and they won't touch anything that's not Japanese, and that's the hurdle that you got to try to get over. With.
And if you try to imitate it too much, then they get mad at you, and so do your Japanese readers. When I first started this, my colleagues in Tokyo said, never ever call it manga because we'll hate you for that. I said, okay, cool. Got it. Don't do that. They said they would unanimously be angry at me. It's like, okay, never do that.
Well, it's Americanized stuff.
Well, the thing is that the funny thing is that we were talking to the guy Kuzio Mayakawa. He did Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, right? So we're talking with him, and his whole thing was that ultimately he says we don't mind. We just saying that we just don't want the Americans copying us. We want to see what your manga experience is from your own viewpoint.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so, they want to keep it within your own style, your own personality, not just
counterpoint.
Apples. Yeah.
Good artists borrow, great artists steal. Look at how much has
not so much the art
stolen from Disney and then back and forth.
Right. Yeah, but not so much the art though. They talking about the content, the story content.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, how many things from Marvel and DC are making animes now? Like they're doing DC had a Harley Quinn, a Suicide Squad-esque anime one recently. Marvel's done Marvel. I've seen sort of actual Marvel manga of like Captain America and stuff.
Yeah, they've done X-Men. They've
So,
they've
Isaac, have you
they've
seen
dipped
the
their toes
anime?
in it. It
Have you seen
never
the
really
Punisher
went
anime
anywhere.
and the Blade anime that they did?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen that. Sounds like
Them
it would be
mugs
really
was
awesome or really bad.
absolute. No, them mugs was great. Madhouse
I need to
did
see
these, so Madhouse don't be playing.
All right. So Isaac, real quick. So when you get your package, don't forget who hooked you up. That's all I'm gonna say. All right.
All you gotta do is message me, man. You need something, you gotta let me know.
Hey man, that sounds like a shakedown, man.
No.
Once
Yeah,
again,
I'm telling
I
you, he's
was
gonna
signed,
be careful.
because I signed those books this weekend. I signed about I don't know 500.
I saw the post.
Yeah, I've signed about 500-600 of them this weekend.
Wow.
I spoke to the guys. They haven't shipped out your book yet,
That's fine.
so I hooked you up.
Cool.
I'm gonna JD. We'll return
So
that favor.
you'll see exactly when you get it. You'll understand when you see it.
He peed on it, didn't he?
Man,
No,
Or worse.
uh,
Every
Man,
time we bring up, they're like
No.
Roko, so you just scribble out her face in every panel she's in.
he's saying this. You're gonna feel real bad when you get it.
man, look, I talked up Oswald Chronicles so much to one of my buddies, man. I can't find my copy. Yeah, right.
Sticky fingers.
Yeah, but I like Oswald Chronicles though.
Yeah, man, I can't find the copy. I'm like, damn, I didn't know I put that book right there. Where's it at?
So one of those guys swiped it.
You
Yeah,
got a
he probably
5-figure
did,
discount.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I think that's a quorum on that one. So Alton, tell us, sir, what's your issue and how can we help you?
I would say the biggest change since 2 years ago when I did my last Kickstarter is the ecosystem surrounding Kickstarter seems to be more diffused. There's many more Kickstarters going on at the same time. So it's harder to differentiate yourself and stand out. Marketing is harder. It seemed like there were a lot more podcasts a few years ago to go on to help support, and more groups, comic related groups on Facebook that you could go into and post to try and draw traffic. So it's more, marketing and getting the word out.
Okay.
So does anyone have any questions for Alton, like what he's tried or anything, or any clarification questions that you might have before we move on to the answers?
So, Alton, let me ask you this question. Obviously, when you started 10 years ago, I think we're kind of in the same boat a little bit. When you started 10 years ago, did you, were you able, you say you do content stuff too, right? So, were you able to get any mailing lists back then?
Yeah, not really. I mean, the only real lists I've been using is my former backers from Kickstarter. That just send updates to them, that type of thing. But that's about it.
All right, so that's still good though, I think. All right, okay.
Yeah, I've done 10, and that probably 100 to. I think the biggest one was Bunny. I had 500 backers, but it's a good number of people to at least contact, and that gave me the signups I usually get, which was about around 100.
Okay.
125 signups was pretty good. Usually I would fund pretty quick, but this time I'm struggling. So it feels very different.
Well, one more question then. So what does the environment look like for the genre that you're doing as opposed to where it looked like 10 years ago? Is there any difference?
Well, I started in 2020, so really it was like five
okay,
years.
that was 5 years ago, yeah.
But I mean, there's a good number of horror comics. I mean, Rob does a cool comic with werewolves and stuff. So it's but with horror, it's endless.
Right,
I mean,
sure.
People, the horror community loves horror, so it's kind of like if you can get to them, they'll be interested in looking at it.
Right.
So it's not. I don't feel like it's maxed out as far as the community itself.
It ebbs and flows in though too, so that's why I asked the question. Okay.
Isaac, do you have any questions?
Yeah. So I think we've all tried this, but I'm curious if you ever tried the paid advertisements through the various social medias and platforms that exist.
Yeah, I'll run an ad I ran an ad this time to try and bump up my numbers as far as signups before the campaign even started. So I usually wait until I hit the dip. The dip is usually when I was doing 30 days. I guess the dip was the third week, but I cut it down to 21 days.
Right.
And it's, the dip comes around the end of the second week or whatever in there. So I usually run an ad, try targeting it. The algorithm, of course, you have to chase it. And
Definitely.
It seems like it's been harder to target, and then it doesn't last as long as it used to.
Sure.
So it shoots straight up and you get a lot of people, and then whoosh, like that.
Yeah.
So, and I think the last one I did was, I think I did a 10-day just before the Kickstarter started.
Sure.
And you can see the line go up and then the line trail. The further along you got, the weaker it got. So, but yeah, I'm not against that. It's just, it seems like the algorithm fights you a little more now than it used to. But there's more people doing it. That's what's going on.
Right.
Sure.
So I'm gonna follow that up. Do you feel like that has become part of the marketing problem? Has become it's just oversaturated, and that you have guys now with like 5 or 6 Kickstarter accounts running books all the time on multiple accounts.
To me, it feels like that. I think it's also that you have bigger sharks in the water now. I mean, like Dynamite does a comic and they do it. It's less indie people like us and more big corporations doing huge campaigns, and that kind of blots things out. But as indie people do, you have to differentiate yourself in the in the group and try and get out there. So it's just you have to figure it out. Whoever your people are, you got to find it. But yeah, it feels a little more difficult now than before.
Now we have AI and people with 10 different accounts making books. So yeah, it's definitely gotten a lot more difficult because now it's just such
that kind of stuff didn't happen, before. So yeah.
I also think the focus was different back in the day with Kickstarter, because I know, we did it. Our Kickstarters, it was kind of like, like I said, we was just trying to make sure we funded to get the book out.
Yeah. Well, that's basically why I started doing it. I was doing the books before Kickstarter, and a couple fans sat me down January 2020 before COVID hit, and they were like, we think we want your comic reach more people.
Sure. You
should try it. And I said, well, I did an Indiegogo, and it lasted 3 days. I didn't know what I was doing. I shut it down, and then I sent comics to the 3 people. I sent free comics to the 3 people that signed up because I felt so good. So, but they were like, oh, we know artists that do covers that are already well known, like Steph Wilson and people like that. And that kind of drew me in. And then the first one funded, and then, it built from there. But yeah, it's just a different animal now, a lot more competition.
JD, do you have any questions?
I mean, I was just looking through the campaign real quick, just scrolling through it.
Yeah.
I do something similar with a couple of my campaigns. I have like all the various artists or whatever. And, you have like a Doxana piece on there that I thought was really, really nice.
Yeah.
Right. And to me, I'll be dead honest with you, because I don't know any of your people. I think that's the best piece on the campaign.
Yeah, probably.
And for me, it should be all the way at the top.
Yeah.
It should be the most featured thing on there.
Right.
It should be the thing that represents your campaign, because I think it's the best piece for it you got. And I think that's the cover, because like when I do that sort of thing on my campaigns, I run with Lena Dye tends to be my front runner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
I might have 1 or 2 other pieces that might be able to compete a little bit, but she's always the one front and center.
Yeah, you need something eye-catching.
Yep.
Yeah, well, she brings her audience too. Like they want to collect everything she does.
Yeah, and I'll run her covers over and over again throughout my campaigns, and they always sell. I'll always get another person coming in, or another group of people coming in, and they'll each pick up each issue that she's on.
Yeah.
So yeah.
That brings up another question from me is with your artists or like your cover artists, because I know you do multiple, like a lot of us do.
Right.
Are they sharing out to their audience, or are they just kind of?
No, that's the other thing I was going to mention. When I originally started, none of them were doing their own books. And since I've started, they're all doing their own books. So it's kind of like their audiences have been drawn to, which naturally drawn to what they're doing more. But yeah, I usually try to connect with them, and then they post out to draw their audience in, and very few of them have done it this time. So I'll have to reconnect with them. I know Dexina is one that was like, tell me when you launch so we can connect.
Sure.
But yeah, I'll have to get the word to each one of them.
Yeah.
Because they're too busy to follow me like they were 5 years ago.
Right.
Well, 5 years ago, they were all like this, and now they got their own thing, and that's cool. But yeah,
and their prices
if I can get them to put the word out to their people, then that'll help.
Oh yeah, community is always a good thing. Definitely.
Yeah, doesn't hurt. It's just everybody's busier than they were previously with their own thing, which is cool, which is good.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge any of them for doing their own thing because they're doing some great work. But it was just different back then.
Yeah.
I think I met Steph Wilson and Carrie Ann before they even had done most of their work. I met them because they used to live in Jersey.
Right.
And the guy that talked me to doing the Kickstarters introduced me to him in right around this time of year. I was at a con at a VFW. It was really tiny. It was like midwinter yawn something.
Right.
And I met them, and they hadn't even really done their first covers yet, but they were excited to do mine. And then I started seeing all the covers. Then all of a sudden there's this explosion of their covers everywhere. And I was like, wow, you guys are really everywhere. And then we started working together. So,
Right.
Good for them.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry about that, Rob. I answered the question again.
It
all right.
is what it is, man.
Yeah.
Another question I have, so again, with the community thing, are you doing the cross promotion updates with other campaigns that are similar to yours, or even?
I had a couple of offers. I hadn't connected with them yet because I want to be able to do it smoothly.
Sure.
But yeah, I've done it before. I haven't done it on this campaign yet, but I'm in the thread for comics launch, of course. So
yeah.
I'll connect with people.
Yeah,
and I'm kind of like I'm straddling February now into March.
Sure,
so it's
right.
I can throw a few curves there.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions that they'd like to throw out there before we get into our suggestion and answers? Good. Okay. Isaac, go ahead. You got what's your thoughts on how we can help market better and get more eyes, more people on his book?
That's a very hard question to answer. If anybody has the true answer to that, you let me know, because I think we're all trying to figure that out.
Well, that's fair.
The algorithm is a moving target. That's the issue. And it's
the
like
problem is the algorithm
what worked last week might not work this week because it's constantly, you know what I mean? It's, so it's and there's a lot, like you guys said, there's AI with all these different, things starting up all the time. And it's a lot of movement, you just have to chase it.
He's right. I mean, like, if you asked me today how to do Kickstarter, I'd tell you, you got to make a funny waifu book 10 years ago, and then you'll have a chance. But right now, I couldn't tell you what to do. Start today. I have no idea. No one does.
Yeah.
I get one of the biggest things I would say to do is just foster community if you can, and just get a Discord or someplace.
Yeah, what's crazy? One of my fans, she consistently talks to me. When I get fans, sometimes they're so into the book, I'm like, this is kind of creeping me out a little bit. But she constantly tells me what she's doing on Instagram, like messages me. And then she's like, well, I build Discord servers. So me and a bunch of people are going to build you a server. So they actually started building me the Discord.
And you have fantastic. It's like a mailing list, but it's instantaneous. Yeah, she sent
me a link yesterday. And I'm like, it's like, this just happens. So I'm on Discord, but I now have my own thing on there. So yeah, that's one thing that I've done during the campaign that I can use.
Well, yeah, you can definitely build that up.
Nice of her, I didn't ask her to do it. She just was like, do you have it? I'm like, no. She's like, well, let's do it.
All right.
No, that's cool.
Like a Facebook group, a forum,
ultimate fan participation.
Right. Yeah. Well, Facebook's weird because I did all that marketing years ago, and it says I have 30,000 followers, but then when you post, nobody can see anything.
Facebook don't care unless you give them money anymore.
So, yeah. That's
Forget it
that's kind of a
exists.
weird
Waste
thing.
time
Now,
these days.
the groups, you know, is a little different because if you're in a group, depending on the size, you can actually communicate with people a little bit. So that's good.
That's also something too, though. You have to kind of curate being in those groups and feel like you're part of it, because if you just come in,
To
you know, like you
post.
said, like 2 years later and put something out there, they're going to ignore that.
Yep.
Those groups, I'll go in, I kick up some dust, and then I'll start posting.
There you go.
All right, I'll go in there, kick up, say something,
Start a
they'll be
few
like,
fires.
all right, guys, whatever, and then boom, I'll start posting, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
Gotta get their attention.
Right, for sure.
Yep.
So there's something I noticed too, like on your campaign. If I
Right.
were you, you got all of you beautiful women on there. That's dope,
Yeah.
right? But what I would do, since it's a horror book, I would definitely take a couple of pieces from there that are truly horror,
Mhm.
you know, and juxtapose the women with the horror
Right.
on the Kickstarter campaign. What I would actually kind of do art wise.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something that because you obviously you have the people who will be attracted to the women and like the covers like that, but also horror fans themselves are into the actual horror side of it, you know.
Of course.
And there's all sorts of different types of horror.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, but they want to see that it is actual horror. You know?
Right.
They want to see the blood.
I know.
Or the visceral or the body horror, whatever you're doing, right?
Yep. Yeah, that makes sense. Thank you.
No problem, man. Anytime.
I don't know, for myself, I mean, everyone's pretty much given the general stuff that we're doing to kick stuff up. But one of the things is like, you know, you started in 2020, and I think we've all seen the platform kind of change, right? Kickstarter, right? So 2020, you know, COVID, everybody was flush with all this extra cash, everybody was spending it, right?
And they were stuck in their homes. They were trapped looking at their screens.
Exactly.
And that's why there was more shows back then too.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, well, I thought it was the worst of the world because my Kickstarter, I set the date in February, this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
And then it launched, I think COVID hit like in March.
Yeah,
like
early March,
2 weeks after COVID was when I had it targeted, and I'd marketed, you know, I'm going to do it. And I'm like, what am I doing? But it turned into, you know, people were actually home. They were bored, and they, you know, it was easy to pull them in. So I lucked out there. But.
Yeah. And I mean, the one thing we've noticed, me and Rob and the group of individuals I hang out with, and we discuss this all the time, is that pretty much everybody's down about 30%.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, and it fluctuates. You know, some guys get a little bit more, some guys get a little bit less.
Yeah.
The only people that are really doing anything of any significance, if you already walk in with a name from, you know, Marvel or DC.
Oh, sure.
Right. Walk in with a big
Reeves,
IP, right. Or if you've already developed a big mailing list from prior campaigns that you've done since like 2020.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I think like you've already have a history of doing these. Mm-hmm. I just think you have to hit that right chord with your old fans.
Right.
You know, you just I think you need to really go back and look at your old campaigns and find that little extra piece of special whatever it was that you had in that source.
Yeah.
And you need to try to redevelop that and feed that back to them.
Right.
And see if you can entice someone to come back to you.
And I think kind of along that same line is offer them like a bonus incentive just for past backers. You know, something that like they really, really can't like live without, you know, like as a fan. Like something that's ultimate collectible that only they get.
Yeah, I overbought for some of my campaigns, so I have like stuff that like was printed that I know that they like, you know, from previous campaigns that I can kind of. That's what I did with the mystery box thing. I'm like, I can, you know, give them things that I know that they liked before. But yeah, making something special for people that I've already worked with is a great idea.
Mm-hmm. Well, one more. It's a question again. It's an answer to, right? So there's a Wiccan community. There's a Wiccan community, right?
Yeah.
So I would suggest, if you haven't already, you know, start kind of peppering the Wiccan community too, so especially with witches of Westchester.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
start
I did a podcast with a witch.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. That's real
on
cool.
the first issue, and
All
she's I guess she's a white witch, like a good witch.
Sure.
But she started telling me stuff about my dad who had recently passed away.
Mhm.
That I'll send you guys the link. That like only me and my wife knew how he passed away.
Mm.
So, but you use that stuff that she kind of tells you when you use that as material for the book too, right?
Well, I'm just saying I connected with witches.
Right.
Mm.
People
who
who live the Wiccan witch lifestyle.
Right. The reason I say that,
So
though,
I know a few.
The reason I'm saying that, though, is that if you can kind of use some of the trappings of it in there,
Oh yeah.
then they look at it as more authentic, and then they start kind of going to it and be like, okay, Alton's got this book, he got some kind of authentic stuff in there. I have a buddy man, Kenji Marshall, right? Kenji, he wrote this, he did this comic called what's that called? It's called dang it, what's it called?
It'll come to you.
It'll come to me, yeah. So he did it, he was talking about the Vodun religion and stuff in Haiti, right?
Right.
So he did research the hell out of that book, right? And so when people been buying it and looking at it like it's kind of like a treatise on the religion, right? So that's why one of the reasons I was asking that.
Yeah, authenticity helps.
Yeah.
The closer you can get to the subject to make it feel real, the better.
Yeah.
People love
Witch
that.
Doctor is what it's called. Witch Doctor. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Have you ever thought about pulling a page out of like the Rapper or Pro Fighter book where you pretend to have a beef with somebody else? Like you just like, JD is a 4-eye loser. His comics suck. We're launching the same day, and I'm going to beat him. And it's in public, you're like, yeah, I hate that guy. But when nobody's looking, you shake hands like, man, we're going to make so much money together. Like kind of like certain YouTubers that go to boxers do stuff like that.
Yeah. Right.
Fake beef to get people riled up.
And he'll be the heel one week, and then the other guy will be the heel the next week.
I actually had someone offer me that too.
Oh, no.
I had someone offer me that. They say, "Yo, man, we can make it." I was like, "No, man. I take it. I will invariably say something that will really offend you."
Right.
How
far is too far? Yeah. Where's the line? The line keeps moving.
I was like,
you
I will
be
push it too far,
Yeah.
and then once I know it's gone over the cliff,
I
will keep pushing.
Yeah,
man, I saw
that's your personality. That's the way it goes.
When you're down.
I saw this Saturday Night Live skit with The Rock, the way Rock was playing this wrestler, and I can't remember the other guy who was playing the other wrestler, and they were doing the same thing. The Rock really was saying bad stuff about him.
Oh, yeah.
No, JD, you do it like, the other guy comes out, we can cover my character uppercutting JD's character because screw JD, and he just puts one out with his character beating up on yours, and like they're attacking each other, like behind the scenes, you're like, yo, here's my character, let's do this. All right, cool, let's go.
Great.
It's real quick, man.
Well, no,
Next thing you know, you'd have some mouse stuck on somebody's boot.
yeah, I know. But
not Oswald, man. Oswald too hardcore for that, buddy.
My ultimate revenge would be to write that person's book better than them.
Oh yeah, buddy.
Yeah.
That would be
that's for a real beef. This is the fake beef. This is the spam, not the steak.
I was like, let me show you how it's really done. This is how you construct the story. But that's why, like I said, I that's why I avoid those things. I really
right.
I like
good stuff, guys. I really appreciate it.
Right.
All right, so gentlemen, let's pull up some of these campaigns. Now, look, it's not like my Sunday show. We only got a few minutes each. All right, so we're gonna pitch them. We're gonna throw them out there real quick. All right. We're gonna start with Miss Sucky Busted. All right.
You want me to do this real quick? All right.
Yes, sir.
I got this. Hold on, I got this.
Cool.
You buy the comics.
Lesbians.
You back these comics. You literally feed this cat. You put food in her bowl. Like, why do you hate the kitties? Don't look at her. She's wasting away. She needs food so badly. That's my 1 minute. That's my 1 minute for you.
Oh man.
Cool.
This has been a more painful campaign than expected, but Sucky Busted, you guys are familiar with it. It is an etchy comedy in a world where heaven and hell are canonical places, and they visit our world like we visit other countries. So they decide they're going to try this new experiment of the first time ever assigning a demon to work for the government agency that polices demons. So So our main character quickly learns that everything and everyone is hard when a lusty succubus is following you around. Going into issue 4, which is the arc finale. It's supposed to be the finale of the series, but it's been so popular we requested to bring it back. So the second arc is underway. But for right now, this is the book that answers all the questions we built up so far. Will Rita finally confess her feelings for Liam? Will they bang? Do we get to watch? What's going on between Kimiko and the Queen of Lust? How kinky does it get? Do we get to see that? All those questions will be answered and then some in this issue as our characters attempt to save the day as they uncover a plot to conquer Jacksonville by a naughty witch and her evil demon sidekick. Without time to call for backup, they are thrust into action without any protection. Can they save the day or will they be pounded into submission? Find out in Suck You Busted number 4, Love, Lust, and Lesbians.
All right, very
Is that
nice.
fast enough, JD?
That's good. That's good.
Wow.
Good job. Good job.
Man,
Nice pitch. I like it. Nice.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Sounds rehearsed.
Isaac's a pro.
It's been my life's work, man. I'm very, very happy with this series.
yeah, it's great, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Art looks good too. Art looks real good.
I got very lucky to work with some people who were immensely more talented than myself. Put it that way.
All right, cool. You got another 15 days. You're doing all right, though. You're doing all right. You're good. You're doing all right. You know. Boom.
Hit the last one, not that one.
All right. Well, this is what you sent me, sir.
Oh, I know. All right, good. Thank you, sir. All right, this is Judas Fist, 7 Deaths of the Yobi. Is about a futuristic super soldier, a guy who wakes up in the future. Actually, from our time, is a super soldier. Wakes up in the future, doesn't want anything to do with super soldiering. He finds out that he has some descendants left in the form of 3 orphan kids, and that becomes his whole world. Until social services takes them from him, because in the future, everybody has abilities, and they work as bounty hunters, they work as skip tracers, they work as mercenaries, and that's what he does. And you know, obviously, when you have kids, you can't do that. So they take the kids away, and he ends up working in the Coney Island. And in the future, everything costs, including getting your kids back. So he decides to do one last score, and it kind of blows up in his face. And it ultimately, he gets his kids back, but he's thrust back into the world of being a super mercenary.
All right. Very nice.
Cool.
Very nice. Now,
Very clean looking, man. That's good.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
when are you looking? When is the Kickstarter?
My Kickstarter is going to be at the end of the year. Only thing I'm doing is doing the Kickstarter to get it covered.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very
Looking
nice.
forward to it, sir. Looking forward to it. Looks nice.
Thanks,
I really
sir.
like it.
Yeah, very cool.
Cool.
You mentioned take your kids away and you're a bounty hunter, but doesn't Disney have an entire successful show about just that?
Actually,
Guy adopts a kid and he's a bounty hunter.
Yeah. But the thing is, so he's kind of a different type of dude.
I like that. That's really cool.
Hey guys,
All right. So, Alton, what do we got?
which is a Westchester. It's like Evil Dead meets The Craft. It's a school about which we've seen actually a few times about witches in college, learning how to be witches. But I wanted to make it a little more interesting than that. So Westchester, whenever people ask me about Westchester, they say, "Where is it?" Well, I wanted a story that links witches through every Westchester, everywhere throughout time. So story begins in Worcestershire, England in 1682, and then continues in Westchester, New York in 1932, and then is also connected to witches today at Westchester University, where they go to school.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
and it's got cameos by, Vampires in New Jersey and also my other characters, Werewolves of Brooklyn.
All
So
right.
there's always backup for the witches.
Right.
Nice. Yeah, where did you find all your art? You got a lot of different artists you're working with. Where did you find them?
Yeah, I've been working with actually everybody on there I've been working with for years. A lot of artists were contacting me back when I was hot and things were booming. So they were like, "Oh, can we do a piece for you?" And I've kept in touch with most of the artists that I worked with before.
Right.
So I've been lucky in that respect.
All right, cool. I mean, listen, man. I mean, you got some really nice looking artwork. I mean, I like the premise and the story. Sounds really good.
Yeah, well, I think the last one, Witches 2, did 17.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. Like I said, I think you just need to reconnect with those fans, and I think once you do that, you know,
yeah,
I don't think you're gonna have an issue. You know.
yeah,
You know.
yeah. It's good stuff. I just feel like, yeah, you're right. I need to, get it to the people that really want it.
Right.
And definitely juxtapose it though. Again, like I was saying, make sure it gets a little more horror in the
Yeah. There's some blood in there.
Yeah.
Cool.
Very nice. Very nice. So go check it out. All right.
Good stuff.
All right, I don't even know why I'm putting this up, but this guy is here, so let me just put it up for him. All right, there you go. Rob, what are we looking at?
So this is the pre-launch page for Snowpaw Volume 1. Collects the first 4 issues that has finally been collected.
Good.
And so it's also going to have 16 additional story pages, the pinup art, cover art, and all that fun stuff. It's going to be 152 pages long, and we're going to have a soft and hardcover.
Snowpaw.
That's solid.
Yeah. When are you looking to launch?
Hoping next month.
Okay. Cool. Very nice.
Cool.
Very nice.
Scottish werewolf lady who takes people to shreds. You
Rob,
remember that
Rob, I got a guy you should hook up with. My buddy Chuck Walton. Look him up in on DeviantArt. Charles Walton III.
Okay. All right. Cool. Very nice. I'm gonna put this up because this is my first foray into repping publishing. So this is Rod Espinosa's Adventure Finders, Volume 1.
Nice.
Daphne and I, we've done a lot of things in comics. We've never done published. We've never been publishers. So we're actually going to do this for him. And Rod is in the Philippines, so that's why he can't do his own Kickstarter. So we're doing this for him. So, and he's had a long career. He's worked at Antarctic Press for a long time. He's worked at Dark Horse for a while. And he does really, really good stuff. Yeah. So we were like, hey man, let's get together. I spoke to him. I've known him for a while. Mm-hmm. A couple of my shows, and I was just like, you want to do this? He was like, yeah. He was running this as a web comic, and we offered to do it as a physical book. So this will be happening soon. So hopefully in the next 30 days or so, we'll be launching. So
very cool.
JD, you being like me from the old school anime, I know Record of Lodos War.
Oh yeah,
this kind of gives me a little bit of that, which is a good thing because Record of Lodos War is amazing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then I got this last thing that I'm gonna pull up. This is my title. This is the Oswald Chronicles. This is for a trade paperback that I'm putting out for and it's a story called For a Few Inches. If I Was a Few Inches Taller, where Oswald gets in the middle of a war between his friend Ordith, who's an orc, and this troll that Ordith has been having a war with for the last few years. And Oswald's just trying to figure it out. And as he goes through the story, he's trying to figure out what's going on. And he sees his friend going through this battle with this troll. So,
put the screws to this guy, man.
What happened?
You always put the screws to Oswald. Why, man? Why?
He's a little guy. He has to tough it out there.
Yeah, he's good under pressure.
Yeah, he put the screw. I'm like, dang, man, the guy can't get a break.
Well, I mean, what kind of story would it be if everything was happy?
Yeah.
Sometimes you want that, though. Every now and then you want to go into something where it's relaxing and there's no.
I root for the little guy. I want him to,
Yeah, you got to you got to give him a second to breathe, but then after that, you got to rip it out under him.
I mean,
Peter Parker never had a vacation. You got to put these guys to work.
Yeah, JD from the old school.
Yeah, I mean, look at what happened to him and Mary Jane. They got married and they took that away.
Yeah,
exactly. They're
right.
Happiness. What's that?
Yeah, who wants that? That's overrated.
You don't want to be the main character of the story usually.
Yeah,
The most miserable person in that story.
Yeah, you got to give him some grief.
No. Looking
at you, Berserk. You
don't
want to be that main character.
Grief.
Mm-hmm.
How can put screws to character 101?
Grief.
But JD, I like that though, because that's I think that's relatable because we've all had to fight trolls here and
sure.
there. So I think it's a really relatable story. I like that.
Yeah. Well, it's something.
You have one on your show sometimes.
Yeah. Well, Jay's not here today. So
I threw the alley oop and you dunked it. Good job.
Oh man.
Sometimes you have two.
That's true. But it's one of those things where it's about the it's that old nemesis you have. Like sometimes we have these people that we knew throughout our lives. They could be like old relatives, old schoolmates, just this one person who had just like always graded you the wrong way, just always rubbed you the wrong way, right? And that's what this confrontation is. And the thing is in the story we find out that Ordith has had opportunities to kill this troll, but he hasn't taken it. Because he has reasons, right? And it has more to do with a certain sentimentality that he has, right? Like, if I kill him, what happens next, right? And
like the whole Batman Joker system.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Changes everything.
Right. And I mean, it's that sort of thing, but it's like that, like I said, if you ever had an old high school rival, right? It's that, and it's just like, and it's that person who gets in between that and asks the question, like, what the hell is going on? Why are you guys doing this? Right? Because that's Oswald. That's where he's at. He's like, like, what are you doing?
Yep.
Right. And he brings along the one thing. He goes to another friend and he brings along the one thing that can help him solve the issue.
Right.
Oh, gun. No, I'm kidding.
The one mouse to save them all.
Yeah.
What solves the issue? A Glock. All right. That
Oswald, what is this?
A little small for that, but yeah.
Oswald, this is a magical doomsday device. What is this?
There you go.
Yeah. So, all right. So, gentlemen, I mean, good job. Thank you to everybody. We made it to the hour and a half mark. You guys were all fantastic. Let's start with Isaac. Please let us know where we can find you and your work, sir.
AT Foxy Comics with 2 X's, not 3, because we don't make that kind of content, despite what you might think from JD. You can find us on across all the social medias. We don't use Twitter much anymore. We are on Blue Sky a little bit more. That's Brooke, our lovely raccoon girl mascot, runs that for us. Zumi, our fox girl, she runs our Instagram and Facebook. Other than that, though, we have a Discord. You come on there. If you ever want to see what our covers look like or any of our books look like without those pesky censors in the way, join the Discord. As long as you're over 18, you come in there and see what you're actually getting. Because I hate censoring it for you. I feel like I'm trying to hide artwork from you guys. We're not trying to do that. For the most part, though, go to Kickstarter for Astral Ticket Comics. Look us up. Check out our history. And if you guys don't know what we do or who we are, I want you to click on my previous campaigns and go to the comment section on every single one of them. Because I can sit here and tell you we're great all day, but that doesn't matter. Of course I'm going to do that. Why am I going to be like, yeah, I guess we're okay? No one's going to do that. No one's that dumb. Go through our comments, look what you have to say about us, and you'll know you're in the right place.
All right, cool. Alton, where can they find you and your work, sir?
Vampires of NJ on Instagram, Vampires of New Jersey on Facebook, and we have a website. You can get our books there. I'm pretty easy to catch. So, and of course, Kickstarter, which is a Westchester 3 graphic novel, art book, and floppy.
All right, cool. Mr. Dudley.
Oh, yeah. You can read Judafist as a webcomic right now for free on Judafist, the comicseries.com. You can also see what's cooking with us overall at imaginosworkshop.com.
All right, cool. Rob?
Yeah, you can find me on pretty much any social network at Lone Wolf Comics, but I'm only really active on Facebook, X, and Instagram. You can also find me on those 3 at Rob Multari. LoneWolfComics.com is my site where you can go and learn about my titles and the characters and also catch up on the back issues. I'll be back on Kickstarter very soon.
All right, very nice. You can find me here Sunday nights with my regular show on Indie Comics Explained every other week with Mr. Rob Multari, right? Running through December, then we'll take another 3-month break. But
Uh-oh.
That's what happened. We read through December and then we're like, oh, okay, let's take a couple months off.
Well, it was hard because like both my boys play high school basketball and games were every Tuesday.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
yeah. All right. And then you can find me on Kickstarter primarily with the Oswald Chronicles currently. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all those different places. And the OswaldChronicles.com and TallTalesOnline.com. So go check it out. And please, everybody, please remember, go check out the show notes. In the show notes are the links to all of these campaigns for all of these fine creators. All of them are doing great work. All of them are passionate about their work. And I mean, please click on those links, buy those books. These books don't exist without your help. All right. So thank you so much. And, just remember, keep reading more indie comics, especially ours. Thank you and have a great night.
Cool.